What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Wholesale Dropshipping Champions. This is Jason from Dropshipping University. I know I've been MIA for quite some time, probably the last month or two. I haven't released a new video. For those of you guys who don't know, my business partner and myself, Ecom Tom, we released a new course on manual eBay dropshipping, and that was on April 1st. So I've been really busy with building out marketing funnels and building the sales pages and the membership area. If you guys have never built out a course before, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of man hours that go into that. So that's really what I was focused on the last month. And then also I went on vacation for the last 2 weeks. I went back to Rhode Island where I grew up, to my parents' house, and I saw a lot of friends and family that I haven't seen in a while. It's the first vacation I've taken in quite some time, so it felt good to kind of unplug and get back to basics. It's always important, guys, to kind of take a little retreat here and there. When you're working for yourself, it's a lot of work all the time. So remember, always take some time for yourself. I just wanted to let you guys know I am back in it. I am back into talking about wholesale dropshipping. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about Zik Analytics and how I use Zik Analytics to augment the processes that I've showed you in the past to find wholesale distributors. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into this, and I'm going to show you from start to finish, step by step, how I use Zik Analytics to go about finding sellers that are selling profitable products, and then use that information to go find the wholesale distributors for those products. Okay, this is going to be a really interesting lesson. It's going to be a really interesting YouTube video. I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but I do use this every single time that I go and try to find where the product is coming from. This is something that really helps me. And it also helps me find the demand of that product, right? Because in the processes that I've showed before, the sourcing strategies, and I'll link them up here, I showed you guys kind of how to just find that wholesale distributor, and then from there you can go and get their stock sheet or their inventory sheet and just go and list their products. But what I'm going to do with Zik is kind of a more targeted approach, where we're going to be finding products that are already selling well on eBay, and then we're going to kind of reverse this. We're going to go backwards through the supply chain and find where those products are coming from, and then we're going to get a wholesale agreement with them. Okay, so let's get right into this. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here we are on eBay's end, and some of you guys might know I'm really big into the 420 space. That's one of the industries that I've been in for the last couple of years. I know a lot about it. It's a very, obviously it's a very trending market. 420 is like smoking accessories, that type of thing. So within this industry, there is a lot of new products coming out that are focused on baking. So brownies, infusions, oils, butters, that type of thing. So there's a product that I know of that I've sold really well in the past. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in oil infusing machine or oil infuser machine. Okay. As you see, it's already coming up because I did test this beforehand just to obviously save time. So you'll see there's the magical butter machine. That one's been out on the market for several years now, one of the best sellers on Amazon. So obviously if you see this one, it probably is being drop shipped directly from Amazon. This Levo oil, Levo is a brand, they're a higher end infuser that came out about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and they're more of a product that you're going to see on a kitchen countertop. It's kind of like an appliance. It's really a beautiful product. So I know this because I'm very involved with this industry. Levo actually just released the Levo 2, and that is a hot product. So I'm just going to go ahead, and you can see right here, Levo 2019, Levo 2, right? So I'm just going to come back up here and type in Levo 2 oil infuser, okay? And I'm just going to open up these sellers in a new tab, okay? Sponsored, new listing, okay. So let's just check these 4 out for now, and we're going to take these sellers' usernames and put them into our competitor research tool on Zik Analytics. Now, for those of you guys who have never used Zik Analytics, it's a very powerful tool. You can do niche research, product research, competitor research, and it's all for eBay sellers, okay? This is by far the most in-depth software for doing research on eBay, right? On Amazon, you have very targeted software like Keepa and Camel. On eBay, Zik is by far the gold standard for sourcing, not sourcing, but like product research. So we're going to take that person's name, we're going to put them in, and this is going to output all this information, all this data about the seller. So in the last 30 days, they've had 120% sell through. They only have 10 active listings. So this person, you know, they don't really have much, they don't have many products. There's not a lot of data on them. So I'm just going to keep moving. So let's check out this guy right here, extraction supplies. And the reason I moved on from that first person is it's hard to get a good gauge on a seller if they only have 11 active listings or 10 active listings. So this guy has a sell-through rate of 12.33%, not the greatest, but he has 819 active listings, and 101 of them have sold in the last 30 days with 22,000, almost 23,000 in sales in the last 30 days. So that's pretty good. So this guy's got the oil machine, the Easy Butter, magical butter machine. He's got some grinders. He's got some industrial equipment, so that's really interesting. So we'll keep him off to the side. I'm just going to quickly go through these guys right here. Vapes and parts, they have a lot of feedback. They're probably an experienced seller. They have 6 sold. How much? This guy has 63 sold, right? So each one of these people have sold this Levo 2, right? We know that there's demand for it based on all the sales. So that is a indicator, that is a high indicator that this is a product that is in demand on the eBay marketplace. That is really important because there's a lot of wholesale distributors have thousands and thousands of SKUs. I have one supplier that has over 25,000 SKUs that I can list. And the problem with that is that we don't know how many of those are going to sell. We don't know what the demand is right off the bat. So what we're doing right now is we're going to find we're looking for demand through this competitor research tool and then going backwards, and we're going to find the supplier of this oil infusing machine, okay? So this guy, Vapes and Parts, he doesn't have a ton of sales. He's 4,000 sales in the last 30 days, but for the purposes of this video, that's kind of irrelevant. He has 156% sell-through, okay, etc. So he has a lot of 420 accessories here. So we see blow torches, we see rolling papers, we see humidity control, stuff for storing dry herb. So that's really interesting. So what we're gonna do now, because after looking at these guys, we can see that there's demand for this product, okay, on eBay's marketplace. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go straight to Google and we're going to put the name of the product followed by wholesale to start, okay? Now you can make it you know, you can change it to wholesale, you can change it to a bunch of different terms. So instead of saying oil infuser wholesale, you could also say Levo oil infuser distribution or wholesale distribution or buy wholesale, something like that. You could do that too. So we're just going to do it like this: Levo oil infuser wholesale. And the first thing that we see right here in the search engine results page, or SERP for short, is Levo is obviously the manufacturer, and we can see that they have section right here. It says, interested in carrying Levo, send us your information and a representative will be in touch right away. Company name, contact name, email, phone, store state, city, etc. So what you could do is you could send this information and wait for them to get back to you, or you could call them up and say, I'd like to buy wholesale. What, you know, is there certain restrictions? Like what can you guys drop ship? Obviously you want to know if they can drop ship, etc. So I already know this from being in this industry. These guys at Levo, the manufacturers, they will not drop ship the product for you. As far as I know, that was last I checked. So, I mean, maybe they've changed their policy, but last I checked, they will not drop ship the product for you. So you're basically at a dead end. You either have to buy wholesale, so they have a minimum order quantity of, I think, 20 units, and this is a several $100 product, so you're going to be spending thousands of dollars to buy the products, ship it to yourself, and then go and resell it on eBay or Amazon, okay? That is a problem for us. Well, it's a problem for me because I don't want to be holding the inventory. So let's go back to the Google search engine's results page, and we're going to, so I can see a lot of these, like, are retailers. Brothers with Glass, they're a retailer. And I keep going here. A lot of these are retailers. Leafly is a kind of like Weed Maps. Let's keep going here. So you might have to go through 3 or 4 pages, maybe even 5, 6, 7 pages on Google before you even start stumbling across some wholesale distributors, right? And as I said before, we want to play around with those keywords. Vapesmart.com, that is a retailer. Alibaba, we're staying away from, obviously. And this is Green Lane Wholesale Catalog. So this is a wholesaler right here. This is going to be their catalog. So we can see their entire product selection, but there's, let's go. So that actually goes to page 200 of 238, I think. So we can see blow torches, magical butter machine. There we go. So there's the Levo right there. Levo 1 and 2. We can see and they have some accessory add-ons that we can throw on there, different variations, different colors. But if you look into, oh, there's even a 2-year warranty. So if you really look into this, there's no prices on this page, right? Because they're a wholesale distributor. They don't advertise their prices to the public. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this one step further here, and we're going to look right into Green Lane themselves. Green Lane. Okay. And right here, they come up, Green Lane, leading distributor to dispensaries and smoke shops. Green Lane is the leading distributor of smoke shops and dispensaries, and carefully select wholesale glass pipes, vaporizers, and more. Okay, let's click this. Give it a second to load here. Here we are. They've got a mission statement. They have 6 distribution hubs, 14 years experience, 50 or more, 50 plus partnerships, key brands. So they're working with at least 50 brands. And yeah, they're, as you can see, they look pretty legit. They've got brands that they work with. Here's their distribution centers. It looks like they have 3 in California, 1 in British Columbia, etc. So let's click the Shop Wholesale tab right here, or link right here. See where this brings us. So there we go. We have a login. So this is basically a gated portal. This is a gated wholesale portal. We cannot log in unless we have a special login that would be given to us by their company, right? Because they have to give us a wholesale application, then we have to be approved to sell their products. So right here it says new customers register here. Click the button below and register to become a Green Lane wholesale customer. We offer the best selection of the premium brands you need to stock your store. Have questions, call this number. Okay, USA and Canada. So we got all of North America covered. That's pretty cool. Products experts, okay, dropship program, here we go. So now we know that they offer wholesale drop shipping. Looking for an easy way to operate an online store? Green Lane Wholesale has you covered. Our dedicated dropship department is here to support your growing business. We have worked hard to develop the industry's most efficient and cost-effective fulfillment solution. Our professional courtesy dropship team can be reached here. So they even have a dropship department or a team of people that are specialists in drop shipping, and you can call them at that number. That's awesome. Okay, so we got the best brands. We give products to dispensaries, etc., etc. That's really cool. Down here, we can also see there's a catalog link, and I would assume that that is what we saw in the Google search that we did initially, and it is. That's awesome. So that's the 2019 wholesale catalog. And this is an index or a library. This is a table of contents, excuse me. And we can see all of the products based on their type. So you see vaporizers, papers, pipes, grinders, storage, tanks, pods, tools, appliances. Cool. So then within each type, you can see the brands. So we can see within vaporizers, the first one is Air Vape, Airizer, Atmos, Boundless, etc. We also see at the top in this PDF that there is a search bar. So this is really, really key. We have our sellers pulled up in Zik Analytics. We know the products that they're selling best. Those are the ones that are their hottest sellers from the competitor research tool. What we're going to do is we're going to take the brand names of those products and throw it right into search, and we're going to verify or cross-check with this Greenlane catalog to see if this is the likely supplier of their products, okay? Since we already know that those products sell well, this is just a double check or a verification step that we're gonna put in place in order to sell products that are in demand, right? We wanna save time and be as efficient as possible. So we see Sea-Vault, that's that brand right there. We see Big Shot, we see Magical Butter. We already saw Magical Butter before, but we'll make sure we'll verify again. We see Higher Standards, okay? So where were we? Let's see, we're right here. So let's put in Higher Standards. Let's see what comes up, enter. Okay, there it is. And Higher Standards looks like it's on page 190. So we also saw the Big Shot, the Blazer Big Shot from this seller, right? Blazer Big Shot GT8000. So there it is, Higher Standards. They are a partner with Greenlane Wholesale. Okay, so that's one. We've also verified the Blazer Big Shot and Magical Butter Machine earlier in this video. And let's also check Newport and Sea-Vault. Okay, that way we can be pretty much sure beyond a reasonable doubt that Greenlane is supplying this eBay seller with their products, right? So let's see, Newport, enter. There we go, Newport torch, 5-inch, 6-inch torch. So there we go, that's that one. And then, what was the other one? Sea-Vault. Sea-Vault. Let's check here. There you go, Sea-Vault storage cases, boom. That's it. So what we've essentially done is we've verified that this seller is getting their products, including the Levo oil machine that they're selling for $350 from Greenlane. So if Greenlane sells their products at true wholesale, then you'd be able to buy that product for, you know, $165 or $170 or so, okay, a little over $170, and then you'd probably pay shipping. So you can see there's huge margin in there. I'm not going to get into all that, but essentially I've showed you guys exactly one of the processes that I use to find if a product is already selling well on the eBay marketplace, and then go and leverage Google search for finding the wholesale distributor, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my face here, and I'm gonna show my PowerPoint. I made a quick little PowerPoint for you guys. Let's stop the share, sorry about that. So I'm going to summarize really quickly for you guys exactly what we went over. I know it might have been too quick, or I know there's a lot to it, but I hope that you guys can kind of get the gist of what I was getting at with using Zik Analytics to augment our wholesale research, okay? So I'm gonna go over this step by step in conclusion. So number one, search for the product on eBay. In this case, we used the oil infuser was our original search on eBay because I am in this industry and I know that oil infusing machines are on the upward trend, something that I believe to be true. Obviously I didn't know it when I first got into this, but it's something that I've seen to be true over time. And then as I put in oil infusing machine, we started getting results in eBay, and the top results tended to be products like the Levo and the Magical Butter machine. So those are the two specific types of oil infusing machines that were coming up the best, okay? So then after that, what we have to do is determine whether that item can be, has demand on eBay, right? So those, as we know, they were coming up high. So then when you click on the listing themselves, you can see one of them sold 64 times, one of them sold 6 times. Every single seller that we opened up had sold units of them. Even though people that were coming up lowest in that search phrase were still selling units of it. The guy that was selling the most units sold 64 units, I think. Okay, that's a lot of units when you start to think that he's probably making 30–40% margin on that. Really, really big margin. We're not talking about arbitrage, 5% margin, 2% margin. We're talking about big margins here. Okay, so number 3, copy the eBay username from the merchant, and then what we did was we took that username, we put it into Zik Analytics, and we used the competitor research tool on Zik Analytics, and we kind of gauged what their overall success was as a seller, but also we gauged what their product base was. So you'll see a lot of sellers who are doing wholesale dropshipping on eBay or Amazon, they tend to stick to a specific niche. And as you saw in our example, those guys did tend to focus on a niche. There was one guy, the extraction supplies username, extraction supplies, he was focused on the 420 niche, and simultaneously he was selling industrial supplies like extractors and that type of lab equipment and stuff. So sometimes you'll have people that are selling in several niches, and that's okay. Tend to be more experienced sellers that do that type of thing. So after that, what we did was we copied the item's name followed by wholesale, right? So we took the Levo 2 oil infusing machine, and then we plugged wholesale at the end of that search phrase, and we looked up on Google. We got the exact search engine results page, and we went and we tried to match up what the eBay user was selling to what we found from our wholesale supplier, Greenlink. Okay, that was the gist of it. It seems pretty simple, and it is. Once you guys get this strategy down, it's really simple. It's kind of tricky at first because you might get confused. If you don't know an industry very well, it might seem confusing. But I would suggest or urge you guys to focus on maybe a product that you know really well and try to figure out if it sells well on eBay, and then try to figure out the supply chain for it or the wholesale distributor for that product. Okay, so that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys took some lessons out of this, and let me know if you guys get the same type of success that I've had using this strategy. It's a strategy that I've developed personally. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to this channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that's awesome. I really appreciate that. I have a ton more videos coming out for you guys. I actually did 6 today, so stay tuned. A ton of content coming out. Thank you guys so much. Take care.